Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the video. Today I have my May 20, what's today? The 29th recap. All right, so I went 2 for 3 today, including last night. I did trade Asia again. And I traded 2 times using the shadow supply strat that I talked about last episode. And I traded 1 with my normal inverse continuation model. All right, so we're gonna start with last night. All right, so there's a trade that I took, little 25-point dubski, right? So on the 15-minute, we had this candle right here. This super big, oop, I gotta fix my settings apparently. We had a super big doji candle right here. And I really like this bottom zone. One, if we go on the hourly time frame, you guys can see where I entered. We're in a super big push up, right? So I thought this is a perfect time to try to get a little scalp ski, we'll call it, and get a dub. So as you guys can see, we have our 15-minute zone marked out. What do? We go down to the 3-minute time frame to look for our entry. All right, so we need a break outside, and what I do is we can't use a breakout or a break in of the zone on the actual candle, right? So wherever this vertical line is where the 15-minute would have ended. So right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we can't consider this a break above because this is a part of the 15-minute candle we marked our zone. All right, so we want to see a break above, a break back into the zone, and then a break out and enter off the candle close. All right, so we don't have a break above yet. We broke back in. We broke above, right? We broke above right here. All right, so let me put a. Hold up. Wait, shit. Hold up. Give me a second, chat. There we go. I don't know why all my settings reset. So we have a break above zone. I don't know what is going on with all of my settings. All right, and then we have a retest and close inside of zone. Inside of zone, which is this candle right here. Oh, okay. Or don't. Which is this candle right here. All right, so we have our break outside of our zone, which is that candle. We go break back in, and then we need to see a close above for our entry, which obviously we got right here. And you just do a 1-to-1 with, you put your stop loss at the bottom of the zone, you do a 1-to-1, and you let that motherfucker ride out, right? So that's what ended up happening. I really liked being bullish here, right? We had a little retest. I mean, even on the hourly, this looks good, right? So we had a little retest, and I knew that we were going to bounce. We had a lot of imbalances to kind of fill. We had a lot of orders to fill, and I wanted to kind of take that push right back up. So as you can see, if we even look on the 5-minute, let me go to the 5-minute real quick, right? We filled in this entire imbalance right here. This whole imbalance was filled. And I guess you consider this imbalance here, but then there's just a bunch of consolidation, right? So price most likely isn't going to get targeted down there, but it's going to want to go back up to fill in all these resting orders that we created on the way down, right? So I ended up just finding my entry on the 3-minute, just to kind of give you guys a recap if you guys did miss it. We had a break outside of our zone, a break back in / retest, close, and then a break above our zone and close, and then I took longs. So that was the first trade. So I'll get rid of that. And the second trade I took was during London session. We had this candle. We obviously were shooting down from overnight, and we had this candle right here. All right, I'll mark the middle of it. This candle right here at 8:30. And I really like this zone. Now, I wish that I waited, right? So the whole premise of the strat is the opposite wick has to be larger than the opposing candle body and wick. So the size of this is 31. Let me fix this because I don't like the way that looks. This is 31 points, and the opposing candle and body is 28. So it technically does fall in tune, but I feel like I rushed this one. And the reason I say that is because it's really close. And it's not super hammer heavy, right? We're looking for hammer candles like this one right here. But I ended up entering off this one because one, I had a bearish bias. And as you guys can see, I was very close to hitting an absolute monster trade, but it's all good. So we ended up breaking back in, coming back out, closing back in. Or sorry, this wouldn't count because this breakout would not count because this is a part of our 15-minute candle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so this is the 15-minute candle close from our zone. So we need to break. We technically need to break back in, break back out, break back in, then a break back out to confirm the strat. So we had our break back in, break back out, break back in, break back out. So I entered a little bit early, kind of looking back on it, and I rushed it, but we would have gotten stopped out regardless. But yeah, as you guys can see, I would have definitely hit a crazy trade if I just kind of waited a little bit. I mean, the trade wouldn't have hit on this candle either. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 15-minute candle right here. We close above the zone when we're looking for short, so that wouldn't have mattered anyways. But the third trade is when I made everything back and then some. All right, so on the way up from last night, we created a lot of imbalances, right? A lot of imbalances, and we had news this morning, and news came out bearish, which also led to me wanting to take short. So we ended up having this massive 15-minute fair value gap inversed and this one right below it. So I said, and we still had Asia low to target, and we had a New York low from yesterday, right? So we already took out, as you guys can see, we already took out Asia high right here. I don't know why everything reset. I do apologize, guys. This was not my intent to keep you guys watching me do all of this. We had Asia high taken out here, and we created our London high. And that was basically it, right? There's nothing really else to the upside that we're looking at, especially with all these imbalances. We had Asia low, New York low, etc. And I think these were from NVIDIA stuff that came out. So pretty strong liquidity down there. I mean, as you guys can see on the 15-minute, there's no purple candles, aka there's no red candles for us to really go the opposite direction. So I was very, very, very confident in going short here. So I ended up taking the inverse. I got a horrible fill. I think my fill was like 36.25. Like, it was really bad. And I honestly thought that our stop was going to get hit, just not because the bias was wrong, but strictly because that the volume was super high, right? Meaning that even if we are going to eventually shoot down, we're going to go back up just because of the volume, right? People want to stop out orders because people are placing orders from this inverse probably. People want to go back up and stop out those orders. But I kept my 30-point stop loss. I sized 7 micros here strictly because the volume was so high selling off. I was super confident, and I wanted to kind of make up for the loss from this morning. Right? Scared money don't make money, right? So we ended up taking out my first trims here, which was 6. The reason that I've kind of been getting into more of a get in, get out strategy just because the market's been super weird lately. So any profits are good nowadays. So as you guys can see here, I ended up trimming 6. These two I had top step. You can't do an exact amount of limit buys or limit sells. You have to kind of combine 2, but they're the exact same exit prices. So I ended up securing 500 and what's the math on that? $570 off of that. Obviously, we do get an extra fee, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world, so I'm not really going to complain about it. But as you guys can see, even though we got stopped out break even, this trade would have hit tremendously. I kind of wish I didn't go break even after first trims. This would have been an extra like $430. But I mean, just with this market, you know, I wasn't really going to try to test it. And maybe I could have done 5 instead and let runners run, but I'm just in like a mental fortitude of always going to break even after first trims are taken, just so then it's a risk-free trade, even if it's 1 micro, right? 1 micro and 30 points. I don't know how many dollars that is. I think it's $2 a point. So I would have lost $60 here. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have happened, but $60 I would have given back, and I just hate the thought of that, right? The trade already hit. We already hit first profits, and I'm trying to get out of that habit of wanting to go for the Hail Mary. I want to kind of slowly progress. I'm not going to do a weekly recap yet just because there is tomorrow, and I'll probably trade tomorrow. I thought I wasn't, but if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And yeah, I'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow with some more great news. I'm gonna keep it pretty low key tomorrow, just because I am up about $800 on the week, and I haven't had a green week since. I mean, technically last week we can count as a green week, but it's only $78, so it's not too crazy. This day was super dumb. This day was super dumb. Like those 2 days, me being down, like I could be at $2 grand right now in my account. But instead I started to have 2 horrible days. This day wasn't horrible. I definitely forced some trades. Now I accidentally traded minis instead of micros, which sucked. But this day also could have been avoided. All of these huge lost days are just mental days. It wasn't like my strat was wrong, my bias was wrong. It was quite literally just mental error days, and that's all trading is your mental. But I'm not going to do what I did before, and essentially I also want to show you guys how strong levels are right here. Look, this is a New York low from yesterday, right? Actually, yeah, this is New York low. Yesterday was the 20th. This is New York low from yesterday. We literally have a setup playing out right here. Now, is it going to hit? I wouldn't switch to bullish yet, just because we do still have this level down here, and this is a huge sell-off, so this could just be a pullback. But like short-term trading, you could go bullish here, right? Playing that hourly pullback, right? I mean, look at the hourly. We have this hourly imbalance right here. I definitely could see price work its way back up into it, and then kind of shoot down to take out. Oop, okay, hold up. I need to. Oh my god. I could see price. Oh, let me mark it out again. Shoot, I'm sorry, guys. That's pretty bad by me. Let me get rid of all this clutter. I could see the hourly price kind of just shoot up and then kind of just come back down to take out this level right here. Like, honestly, if I was swing trading, I would wait for a 1 hour retracement and just take shorts. That's what I'd probably do. Just because we are kind of in a sell-off right now. No matter like what you look at. I'm gonna mark out some levels for tomorrow though. Depending on what happens, I'll go ahead and do that here. Obviously, this level's taken out, but we have this new low. And the way that you can tell is if the market's changing is I like to go on the hourly. And as you guys see, we have all these lows right here. If you take a trend line and you take like the lowest of lows, right? So this was our most recent low here, right? And I make these purple. As you guys can see, price was staying in a bullish trend, and then we broke structure to the downside. So we have a 1 hour break of structure. So we are short right now. So my bias was already bearish from up here, and that kind of when we inverse this 15-minute fair value gap, the one that I took my entry off of, this kind of just confirmed it, right? Because we had our Asia lows right here, which if price was going to take it out, it could have taken out in this candle and went back up if we wanted to keep our bullish trend. But I knew that we were probably going to take it out anyways, which is why I sized super heavy, because as you guys can see, we could have still rejected off of our hourly bullish trend. We could have still rejected off of it. But now we're in a bearish trend. We're starting the bearish trend. And that's definitely something that I would keep my eye on if I was you. You know, if you're watching this in the afternoon and you're going to trade maybe Asia, Asia's probably going to go down, is my guess. Ooh, okay. What's going on? What the heck? Asia's probably going to go down, if I had to guess, strictly because we're probably going to shoot up into this. How long will it take? I don't know. You probably can't get a setup going. The only way that I would see a setup is if we inverse this 5-minute fair value gap with a lot of buyers. Then I would probably take like a little scalp. Like if I was trading this personally, I would probably just put at like a previous low and then do like a 1-to-1, which honestly is perfect for going into this imbalance. This is probably what I would do, right? I would take my previous low, or honestly just maybe even like the gap, and you could just do a 1-to-1 with this as well. I do honestly think 1-to-1s are a really good way of kind of getting back into things, and the reason I say that is because it simplifies it a lot, because you're not going for that Hail Mary, and it kind of takes the stress off just because the trades do tend to end quicker. So if you're someone who cannot stand sitting through a trade, I would honestly resort to scalping. And obviously I know a lot of people go for those Hail Marys because they size super light, and that's the reason how they make their money. But I mean, the thing with the NASDAQ is like, I sized 4 micros and a 25-point trade's $200. If you did that 5 times in a day, That's a grand right there, right? And then you're gonna have those trades where you do see the Hail Mary setup and you see the vision, right? And then that's when you'll size lighter and you'll make more, right? But it also keeps your losses a lot smaller, right? Because when you're scalping and you're doing a 1-to-1, you tend to have, you know, a smaller stop loss. You tend to have, you know, you'll have a better bias in the market, right? So like, do I have with the shadow supply? All right, I don't have a setup here. I mean, there was maybe this. I like this candle for longs, but did we ever get an entry? We never got an entry. I mean, technically this would be your entry, right? If we're talking the strat, but another rule with the strat is price can't exceed, it can't exceed the 1-to-1, right? So it can't go higher than 50. If it goes higher than your 1-to-1 from the zone itself, not from your entry, from the zone itself, then it's invalid. Holy stutter. So as you can see, we shot above. So then I would mark this zone invalid, right? Because we're not retesting it at all. We're not respecting the zone. So there's no reason to do that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, sorry to kind of extend the outro, but I kind of want to get my point across there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch y'all in the next trade recap tomorrow, hopefully. Peace.